So what if I told you that in 2025, the single biggest barrier to getting a home battery in Western Australia is, well, it's about to completely disappear. We are going to break down exactly how a brand new combo of rebates could make getting solar and a battery way more affordable than you ever thought possible. For years, that's been the story, right? The dream of having your own energy storage, of being energy independent, has always been held back by that hefty price tag. It's been the one thing stopping so many of us. But what if that whole story is about to change? You're seeing that right. Zero. This is the number we're actually talking about. Thanks to what is basically a perfect storm of government incentives, it's now possible for a whole lot of WA homeowners to get a top-quality home battery installed for $0 out of your pocket. Let's dig into how on earth that's even a thing. Okay, the best way to think about all these different government programs is like a treasure map. Seriously. Each one leads to a different piece of the savings puzzle, and for the very first time, we can actually follow all of them at once to get to the grand prize. So, to unlock all these savings, we need to know the 4 key players on our map. You've got the federal government, the WA state government, some potential local council perks, which is a nice bonus, and then the tariffs that will actually pay you for the power you generate. Let's see how they all fit together. All right, this right here is the absolute game changer for 2025. It's this concept called stacking. It means you can now claim both the federal and the state rebates on the very same battery. That's what creates this absolutely massive opportunity for savings. Okay, so let's set a baseline. A good quality, fully installed 10 kilowatt hour home battery, we're talking about brands like SunGrow or maybe a Tesla, that's going to set you back around $11,500 typically. Now keep that number in your head because we are about to just start chopping it down. And here's the first huge hit. Starting in July 2025, the National Cheaper Home Batteries program kicks in, and boom, it instantly knocks off about 30% of the cost. That's a discount of nearly $3,500 right off the bat. And this is where that magic of stacking comes into play. On top of that big federal discount, we can now add the WA Residential Battery Scheme rebate. For most people in Perth and the Southwest, that's another $1,300 just gone. So after we apply those 2 major government rebates, that initial $11,500 price tag has been slashed all the way down to just over $6,700. I mean, that's a huge saving already, but guess what? We're not done yet. Now, this is a really important detail. The amount you get from the state rebate actually depends on who your electricity retailer is. If you're with Synergy, you'll get up to $1,300. But if you're a Horizon Power customer out in regional WA, that rebate almost triples to a massive $3,800. Huge difference. Now, to get that WA state rebate, there is one key condition you need to know about. Your battery has to be connected to what's called a virtual power plant, or a VPP. All this really means is you agree to let your battery help support the wider grid for a couple of years. And don't worry, your installer handles the entire setup. It's pretty seamless. So what about that remaining $6,700? This is the final amazing piece of the $0 upfront puzzle. The WA government also offers an interest-free loan for up to $10,000, and it's specifically designed to cover this exact gap, so you don't have to pay a single cent out of pocket to get started. Okay, but the battery is really only half the story, right? To make this system truly work for you, you need solar panels to charge it for free from the sun. And, you guessed it, there are big upfront discounts for those too. So this is the long-standing federal solar rebate that's been around for a while. It gives you an immediate point-of-sale discount on the cost of your panels. For a standard 6.6 kilowatt system in Perth, that's an instant saving of around $2,500. Now, this discount works through something called Small-Scale Technology Certificates, or STCs. I know, it sounds a bit complicated, but the only thing you need to know is that you don't have to do anything. Your installer handles all the paperwork and just takes that value straight off your final bill. Easy! And this is where a battery goes from just a cost-saving device into an actual revenue generator. WA's buyback scheme pays you a premium, 10 cents per kilowatt hour, to sell your stored energy back to the grid during that evening peak. The strategy is so simple. You store your free solar energy during the day, and then you sell it for a profit when the grid needs it most. Okay, so you've seen the numbers, and they are pretty impressive. Now for the how-to. How do you actually make this happen? Well, the process is surprisingly straightforward, and the best part is your installer does most of the heavy lifting for you. It really is just 3 simple steps. First, get a few quotes and make sure they clearly break down the different rebates so you can see the savings. Second, just tell your installer you want to apply for that interest-free loan. They'll send you the application link. And finally, once you're approved, they just handle the rest: the full installation, the VPP connection, the whole shebang. Now, for that interest-free loan, there is one main eligibility check to be aware of. Your combined household income needs to be under $210,000 a year. And it's really important to remember, the rebates themselves aren't means-tested, but the loan to cover that upfront cost is. So, let's put it all together. The big question: if you're starting from scratch and you're getting a full 6.6 kilowatt solar system and a 10 kilowatt hour battery, what's the final, out-the-door price in 2025 going to be? Well, the total retail price for a full system like that would normally be almost $20,000. But after you stack all those rebates for both the panels and the battery, you get a total discount of almost $7,000. Your final net cost ends up around $12,500, which, again, can then be financed with that interest-free loan. That means zero upfront cost for you. This quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? The total net cost of a complete, state-of-the-art solar and battery system in 2025 is about what you would have paid for just the battery alone a few years back. The value there is just undeniable. So I guess the final question is this: when that financial barrier, that big upfront cost, can be completely removed and the system can literally pay you back over time, what's stopping you from making the switch? For any homeowner in WA, it's a really powerful thought and, honestly, an opportunity that's never been better.